Hello there, Pat Skeets here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to do an album share, and this is part 2 of a road trip to the city of Ottawa, the capital city in Canada. So I already have done one video, so you might want to look for that. And this is part 2. It was a big album. So anyway, please subscribe below if you haven't already. It really helps. Thank you so much. So first off, this is the National War Memorial. And King Charles was here, and he was there yesterday opening our parliament, and they laid a wreath at the War Memorial. Oh, I think it was the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier where they were. Anyway, so I just used squares of paper. I think they're like 5-inch, 4.5-inch squares, and just fanned them out in all coordinating papers. Looks pretty. And I wanted to use poppies because it's a war memorial. So I did these 3 different poppies and layered them. I used a paper that has some shimmer on it. And then I did a soldier with a cross with a helmet on it. That was a lovely image in Design Space that I found. And then I used these same patterns and did more squares or rectangles over here to just make the square background. And these are just pictures of our on the hop-on, hop-off bus. So use some red flowers to go with this. They're from Creative Memories embellishments, and put titles in the script font, and that it's had some embellishments of a bus, so that worked there too. Pretty page. Now this is a shimmer paper. It's got a pattern on it. I guess you can see there the reflection. Anyway, very pretty paper. So, and now this is at the Byward Market. Right downtown, near the Parliament buildings, there's a big market area. It's closed off to car traffic. A pedestrian mall is part of it, and there's shops and bakeries and the whole street that's closed off. There's like patios set up, little like lawn chairs and that, so you can sit and rest, and there's people doing all kinds of things there. It's wonderful, and the restaurants are amazing. It's right near the Parliament building, so the politicians go there all the time for lunches too. Anyway, so I did I just did buildings. I made a border here with some buildings because this is all the shopping strip. There's a patio from a restaurant. And then there's my girlfriend where they were by the shops. And there was my girlfriend took this picture, and she cut this as a bear, a black bear in an RCMP red coat, and she cut his head off. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, so I used a tartan paper here, and then on both sides I added a tree border, a deer, because just Canadian images. There was bakeries there, and I did the moose because it's so Canadian an image. A flag, did banner of Canada on top of another border, added trees and maple leaves. This I did the street lights because there were so many street lights. I love the wrought iron street lights all over the place. Anyway, it was a fun page. The Byward Market is the place to go for lunches. We actually ended up going there 3 nights for dinner in different restaurants, and they were all wonderful. And we had lunch there too. it was cheaper to take an Uber from our hotel to the market than to drive and park there. It was funny. Okay, so on this one, I used some of that funky paper that I have this pad that has funky paper, and I wanted to use it for buildings because the pages with just buildings can be boring. So I used my fun paper and love the colors of it. This coordinated with that. It has a copper sheen to it. And then I grouped 3 here and 2 in a row here after making background borders to run on each side of the big square. Put my title on a tag going down here, Byward Market. It didn't show up too well. I didn't pick the papers quite right. So it was quite bland. So I took a white marker and drew the letters in there so it's easier to read. And then I used a frame on top of this photo. I like using frames in different ways. I do that often. And when I cut this to size, there were some pieces left over, so I just cut them out and used them here and there on the page to embellish. Funky signs all over. We ate there. That was wonderful. They actually had a charcuterie board on the menu. That's what we had that night. It was good. And this page is the bakery, and this bakery is famous in the Byward Market. When President Obama came to visit Canada, he did a drive-by and he had them stop at the Byward Market, and he walked in, and it was one of those not planned things. And then he went and he bought a couple of cookies from this shop. And these are the cookies that he bought. So they, the press were there. They took pictures, like the entourage and that. It became famous overnight. So they now have Obama cookies. They're the ones that he bought. They're in the window. There's a maple leaf and it says Canada on it. And then those, I think those were what he bought anyway. I think they used to sell 2,000 a week, and it went up to 7,000 a week or a day. I can't remember. But it was, he made them famous, and they're grateful for it. They get a lot of business. It's a bakery, but they do also do sandwiches and lunches there. A lot of people go there to pick up stuff. So I knew I had these photos, and I saw this collection in Creative Memories. It was Sweet on You and cookies and donuts for bakeries. I thought, oh, that'll be fun for this bakery page. And so I just had fun using the paper for borders. And it happened to have all these donuts there, and there's all these croissants. Very nice. It was a great place. And this frame was in the collection. Loved it. So I just used it offside because it created such a lovely look over here. These are just from a punch I have. And then I just put borders around the pictures. A fun page. We like President Obama here. Okay, now this is shopping in the shops at Byward Market. Gift shops all over the place. My girlfriend's posing with the bears. They're wooden carved. Anyway, I put the photos in a long line, all lining up evenly at the bottom. So I did a wide border for a backdrop for them, framed them, and then this multicolored paper with blue and gold created another border, top and bottom. So this I love. this is kind of funky, this paper at the background. So then I just did a big circle from Cricut and a smaller one, the same circle cut out smaller, and did some lady silhouettes with shopping bags. So that just created a cluster here, another one here with tags and flowers. And then she's holding up a little girl's tutu here, so that's why I had that up there with a title. Cute. Good memories. I should give these to my girlfriend. Okay, like I said, it's a pedestrian mall at Byward Market, and they have like little patio sets set up all over the place, and there were chalk artists, chalk painting all over, and you could sit and watch them for an hour and just get a coffee somewhere and sit and watch. They'd draw these beautiful flower scenes all over the place, and they would then move the chairs into a patio on that garden area. Then they go somewhere else and paint something else different, create another grouping. It was lovely. And so my husband waited in one of these areas while my girlfriend and I shopped. So I used these funky papers again that I liked for boring city photos, and found this, because of this paper with all these circles, I found this circle image in Design Space, so I went with that. There's a different one and another one here. So I just used the circles for a theme for my groupings, and the flowers, because they were doing all these pink flowers and different colors everywhere. Look how detailed that was. That's all done by hand, watching them do chalk. It was amazing. Very talented people and quite entertaining. That's why people spend lots of time down at Byward Market. Love that place. Now, this is another part of Byward Market as an homage to because it was Tulip Festival. There were artists there painting these sculptures, wooden sculptures of tulips. So every artist was set up and painting different ones. And they were all just one part of the market. It was lovely to watch them. You could sit and watch them too. So I did a tulip theme here. This is a fun tulip border. I repeated it here. And then this is a sticker border from Creative Memories. There's tulip images in Design Space, and just the Tulip Festival title at Byward. My funky paper again from that special pad that I loved. I wish I had it, more of it, or more funky papers like it, because I'm going to be doing Europe soon, and there's so many buildings, pictures of buildings. So I love my tulip pages. Aren't they beautiful, these tulips? And here's more of the Tulip Festival. So pretty. These are double tulips. They actually, they almost look like poppies, but they're double tulips, special kind. Beautiful. Okay, so there's all kinds of pink and red tulips on this page. So I found pink and red pretty paper, floral paper, and used it for backgrounds and chopped up blocks here and there, joined the whole thing with a border along the middle, and then found pretty tulip images. I then embossed them with a floral embossing folder, and then inked them with a lighter pink on the dark. If you can see that, they are embossed. Gorgeous photos. My husband's he's pretty good at photography. So I did emboss all of those and just put a title on this, embellished with enamel dots. And it's a really pretty page. quite simple too. These images were simple. Just did it in 3 different sizes. Like your clusters, it's nicer to have one bigger one, a medium, and a smaller one. These are all found in Travel Scrapbook number 43 on my website. There is a link below, and there's Design Space links for every page there. If you're interested in copying any of these easily. So, whoops, that's my note on what paper it is. More tulips. That's where we went. Now, why we went in May for the Tulip Festival, and I told you they're everywhere. It's so pretty. So I have this beautiful paper, and this is a coordinate from the same pad. They're old K & Company pads. I love their florals. I still have tons of them. So again, the tulip theme happening here. So I used just 2 different patterns, a stripe and a floral for the bottom borders. Then I used a circle and a square for a 3rd print, and that just made this kind of different. And just line those up top and bottom. Just multicolored tulips from all over the place. Put a title down here, spring, and clusters. These are my images from Design Space, and I embossed those too with tiny little flowers. You can see they're embossed. It was so that gives it doesn't show up that much on the video, but on the page itself it makes a big difference if you emboss a large layer of plain paper to be embossed. That's what I recommend. So it works really well. And we still have more tulips, different colors this time. Beautiful purples. So my photos are all lined up in this bottom border. I created a large frame for the whole thing. And then I did a border along the side in a coordinating paper. And that left a big space up here, so I used this image, repeated it in 2 different colors to create this border up here. Added a dragonfly because there are on this paper, and I probably covered them up. There was a here's dragonfly here or there somewhere, and so I used some dragonflies. This is an embellishment from Creative Memories, and this is borders from theirs to a sticker border. I think that's from Painted Garden. Anyway, makes a very pretty, a really pretty page. I love it. Adding the border along the top of the photos was different for me. There's a nice close-up of a tulip. Now this is a tulip paper collection from Stampin' Up. So I've had it for a while, but I thought this is perfect for doing it. Now, so I just cut it 2 different ones. There's a small one and a large one. I think that's 2 different ones. Let's see if I can check. Yes, it is. So I just put plain polka dot purple. It's a soft polka dot in the middle to divide them. And then these are tulip corners. This image is from Art Nouveau cartridge, one of my favorites. And I found some other tulip images in Design Space. So it was a title, again, from the Cricut. So I made a large mat because the paper was so busy. I did a large mat to sort of break it up from the photo, so the photo would stand out on the busy paper. Just use some plain paper around the photo. So that worked out. 1, 2, 3 clusters. My throat. I'm talking too much. Okay, then we went to Rideau Hall, which I told you is where the Governor General resides. The Governor General is the head of government representing the King in Canada. And this is a huge mansion with a large property, and it's customary when dignitaries come, they plant a tree somewhere on the property. So there's trees all over, and there's a sign under each tree saying the date it was planted and by whom. So presidents and queens and kings and princes and that, when they come, they usually stay here, and there's balls held here, all kinds of dignitaries, but there is an area for them to stay because they can't really stay in hotels. So there's a fountain out front. This is the doors when you come in. There's artwork on the walls. This is native artwork, it looks like. It's beautiful. There it is there in this reception room. It's quite beautiful and ornate in this building. So anyway, I used a Kiwi Lane border along the bottom, and then I embossed it with a border embossing folder I have had for years. You can see that. I then, I used a gold paper because there's so much gold in this place. The green and gold worked for me. So I used a border of their fleur-de-lis across the whole top. And then these are Anna Griffin gold embellishments. This is a photo corner. I just used it in between the photos. So I have some of these. I bought them for Christmas cards, and I use them now. I have had so many that I can use them for other things as well. This is a doily. It's just gorgeous lace doily thing back here. So I cut it up and used it on both sides. That's an Inukshuk and a canoe, the little Canadian embellishments that I have. So inside Rideau Hall. And this room is the ballroom, or one of the ballrooms in Rideau Hall. It's pink and white candy stripes, and it looks like you're inside a circus tent. The ceiling is even done with canopies. And beautiful chandeliers. This room it's shocking because who does a ballroom in pink and white? It was really surprising with the black and white floors. So I had used a ballroom theme for this page, and so that I just did a bunch of tags. Actually, I think this layout might have been something from Close to My Heart or something that I saw and copied it. It was fun. It was just all kinds of tags. So I got to use my different pink and white and black prints that all coordinated to make it really pop. And then I used ballroom dancing images, silhouettes of couples dancing and music notes. It made for a fun page, sprinkled all over the place. That ballroom, I can't tell you what a shock it is to walk into see a room like that. Thought little girls would love that. And this is some of the artwork in the building and chandeliers. It's just beautiful in there. So I found this is black and white art and photo art, I guess. So I cut this. Well, this is a border print on the paper, so I trimmed it to tuck all these papers in. Used a collage of papers that seem to go with this in the black and white and gold. So I used gold border, pieces of border up here, just thin strips of papers, and then I did a floral cluster on each end a branch here and another one there. So I have 1, 2, 3 clusters. So, and actually that's the end of my trip to Ottawa. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you liked the pages, and remember there's links below. So thanks for your support and happy scrapping.